Hi, this is Sara Abrons. I'm executive editor of Rave Publications, and I'm here at the very beginning of day one of InfoComm 2018. And I'm here in the Starin booth, and I'm with Bill Mullin, who is CEO. How are you today, Bill?
Good. Glad to get the show on the road.
Great. And I'm also with Bobby Swartz, who is VP of Marketing. How are you today?
Absolutely wonderful.
Okay, great. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about what you are focusing on at the show today and what big announcements you have?
Well, one of the major things we did recently was take a look at what are the conditions in the marketplace and the challenges that integrators are facing. Number one, the biggest competition that most integrators have today is not the integrator across town, it's not online. Number one, the labor shortage. Number two, the utilization of the resources that they have inherently in the talent and their processes. So with that in mind, we set out to look at how can we create a better expedited way to bring systems to completion. So with that, we knew that time management is critical, procurement is critical, rather than grabbing things from all these different vendors and waiting for back orders and all of that. We started a new approach to it. Bobby and I went to some of our vendors. We have had some unique relationships in the market over the last year in terms of building something called outfitting, and now we have a moniker for it called Pro AV Outfitters. So Pro AV Outfitters is not only just us putting these complete deliverables together with instruction sets and things, it's also the partner themselves. They are the outfitters with us. We're a natural extension of their full delivery and delivery experience.
You're helping them expand their business, make them bigger, have more labor when they don't have it.
Yeah, Bobby can tell you about how we looked at opportunities for growth in the market, one being the video wall scenario of mid-market opening up tremendously. There's just going to be a more proliferation of wall applications emerging versus, at one point video walls was a black art. And very few companies were engaged in it because it had a lot of care and feeding of putting it together. So video wall was our first one that we looked at.
Yeah, Bobby, why don't you tell us a little bit more about those services that you've been expanding with?
Absolutely. So with video walls in particular, one of the main things that's been that black art that Bill referenced of how to put these together is everybody sees the opportunity, everybody wants to get in. The time, the effort it takes to put in place to get up to speed, to be able to properly secure, procure, source, build, design, for somebody to get in who's already really busy growing their business, it can be hard to do. So the opportunity doesn't get realized, again, because of the time that's involved in it, that just absence of manpower. So with the video wall we're using here and what we've worked out with the partnership with a company called Neoti, which I teased with Gary a little bit last week. With Neoti, we're not offering installation services. What we're offering for our dealers is the ability to have true experience built into their teams. So they can say, I have a customer who said they want a video wall, but I don't know anything about it. And then from the design phase, and they can pick their services to project management to educate them and be on site to install it, to a full installation team that is going basically as their own installer. It's part of their team. Everything runs through them. It's an extension of their team. And then right through the next hardest part, which is service. They can offer service packages, again, through the reseller, but without having to take any of their own internal capacity. It's complete turnkey solutions from start to finish on video walls.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like your dealers, your customers are now able to say yes to projects they might have had to say no to before. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's about being able to work more efficiently with what you have.
Increasing their bandwidth. That's the other thing. That we're going to help them out in resourcing and also some of their appeal. Some of the ways they can go to a customer and say, hey, have you considered this? And we can come in as a full support team behind that. And we're also doing it for collaboration spaces, which we've been pretty, deeply immersed in since Barco came to us years ago, now a little over 5 years, and said, hey, could you guys channel manage? Could you go to all of the possible locations that could resell and make a market for the Barco ClickShare? So that was a beautiful ride, and that really took us, along with our Clear One history, our Riva Labs history, etc. We were very much in the UC space to begin with. But that collaboration has now led into outfitting for collaboration spaces by way of a unique relationship we now have with Zoom. So Bobby, why don't you tell us?
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that. I heard it's a big new partnership you guys are focusing on here.
So the second big growth area we've seen that we put together is obviously Zoom. We all feel it. Gary talks about it all the time. We all know they're a powerhouse because they focus on the user experience, bar none. So it's changed the dynamics in meeting spaces. And what we've seen when we talk to more and more resellers is that there is simply not enough manpower to handle the opportunity out there right now. It's a factor of scale. There's a lot of people getting in on that. So what we've done in the same idea of the video walls is being able to put together, based on Zoom standards, what they know works, complete systems that are not just bundles of product, but thought out to the point where you have the nuts and bolts to make an install clearly laid out in a single package. So now you're not worrying about, is something missing on my job site where I'm going to lose a day of manpower, because that's a huge, huge issue. We're not worrying, is it going to work or do I need to reconfigure it? Everything you need is literally in a single box based on a multitude of room types, again, in that Zoom ecosystem. And these kits come integration ready. So if you want to bang out one room, great. If you need to do 15 rooms in 2 days, it's as simple as saying, I need to do 15 of those rooms, and it's on site 2 days later, complete, ready to install and just hammer out. It's all about being integration ready for our partners to be able to, again, open that capacity and seize the opportunities that's sitting in front of them.
Be able to say yes.
Say yes.
Okay. So what can people who stop by your booth this show expect to see and talk about?
Well, probably first and foremost, I was at the Zoom Integrator Partner session last night, and I think everybody who is a certified reseller and integrator for them understands that scalability is what is in the mind of Zoom and Starin. We have been working with them over a 2-year period. Initially, just for some of the brands that we had to come into the ecosystem, and eventually they kind of also ascertained we just need a fast track method. And therefore we built that. So literally most brands in the Zoom ecosystem are now part of this. And so first and foremost, we're going to be taking care in those packages of the pre-existing certified resellers. And as they can't certify integrators fast enough right now, is their situation. But as new ones start to come in, we will also facilitate that whole bill of materials delivery, like you said, right down to the toggle bolts and down to dropping it on site by room and really getting to know. I mean, we go through the process of, is there a lift truck required? Are there inside insurance? All those kind of things that a lot of times the folks in the integration department, install department have to go through all of that. Well, we're doing a lot of that on their behalf, so it's fun.
A lot of value add then.
Yeah, and then secondly, I would say anybody who has identified opportunities with Wall and they've started to wade into it, or maybe they're in it, but they realize, it's kind of hinky at times, that it kind of just fits in spurts and starts and all of that. So if they want to see a streamlined approach with a proven house, that's why we went to Nioti. Nioti has been in the wall business for several years, and I basically thought we were going to go into the wall business. We were talking to one of the major Chinese manufacturers over here, but in the end we went, these guys are right here, and we said we could buy them. No, wait, let's get to know them. And we found out that the alliance was 10 times more powerful. And it really has been a good, we've taken it through testing phases, we walk before we run kind of thing. And we had a job site where the integrator said, our 2 days in and out with the Nioti team, fully managed. It can be a supervisor level if it's just some coming in and doing that, or it can be full team, was a comparison to a 9-day same size job from another source. So expediting the process is really what it's all about.
Well, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time today. It was great to chat with you guys. Good luck at the show. It's the first beginning of day one here at InfoComm. We will be here in this Starin booth shooting individual product videos on all the products and services here. So if you're still at InfoComm, or if you're interested in either video walls or conferencing, particularly with Zoom partnerships, be sure to come by and talk to Starin or check them out online at starin.biz. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, thanks so much.